This is my second Japanese visa. I've moved to 2 different cities in Japan, and if you're thinking about moving to Japan from your country in 2026, this is the right video for you. Whether you're dreaming of working, studying, or just exploring for a while, Japan has a visa for you. I'm going to give you the fastest way to get permanent residency in Japan. And yes, there are 17 different visas. Let's get into them. Part 1, short-term visas. If you're staying here for less than 3 months, like what Kanye does occasionally, this part is for you. A tourist visa, you can stay here up to 90 days for most Western countries. It's for sightseeing, family visits, short stays, things like that. If you're coming from the US, EU, Australia, etc., Western countries, you just show up and they give it to you. No paperwork required. If you're coming from a different country like India, an application is required. The limitations are you can't work and usually limited up to 100 days per year total. And yes, the common question is, can you leave every 90 days and come right back? The answer is yes, you can. But if immigration suspects you of living here long-term without a proper visa, they can stop you. It's up to their discretion. And an insider tip for wealthy travelers, you can apply for a long-term stay for sightseeing up to 1 year if you got about 30 million yen or $200,000 in your bank account. You have to prove that you have this. And then once you do, they'll give you that visa. Okay, business visa. The duration is between 30 and 90 days. It's for conferences, meetings, short-term visits, business trips. How do you get it? It requires an invitation from a Japanese company. The limitation is you cannot work for the company next up transit visa. Duration is up to 15 days. For layovers, longer than 24 hours. But they don't let you sightsee. I don't know how they stop that crew from doing that, but I guess you're only allowed to be within a certain circumference of the plane itself. You can't work, and it's just for people passing through. Part 2, for mid to long-term visas. Now, let's get into visas that let you live in Japan for up to 6 months or more. The first one we're gonna go over is a fairly new one. It's called the digital nomad visa. The duration is for 6 months and it's not renewable. It's for high net income earners who work remotely. You have to prove that you have a minimum income of about 10 million yen or $67,000 in your bank account. Limitations, you can't work for a Japanese company and insurance is required, so you will have to pay that. It's good if you want to test drive the country before committing, but it's not for a long-term stay. Next up, working holiday visa. The duration is for 1 year. It's catered towards younger people, but it doesn't matter necessarily how old you are. It's normally advertised to countries like Australia, Canada, UK, Germany, France. It's not available for the US or India. And why is this really popular? Well, it lets you travel in Japan and work part-time to fund your stay for up to a year. It's really just a come and experience Japan type of visa. The limitations is you can't use it to settle permanently, but it's a great way to come in and find opportunities and then apply for a longer visa once you get those opportunities. The most common visa you can get is the working visa. It's also what I have. It's for people with a job offer from Japan. It covers categories like engineering, humanitarians, international services, office jobs, English teaching, instructors, skilled labor like chefs, artisans, sports trainers, things like that. What happens is your employer will apply for it on your behalf. The rule is, if you lose your job, you must inform immigration within 14 days, and you usually get up to 3 months to find a new one. Now, let's be honest. As long as you pay your taxes, they really don't care what you do because you're here to pay taxes. And an insider tip, most foreigners start with an English teaching job, then move into other fields once they're here. So that's what I did, and you can do that too. Specific Skilled Worker Visa, or SSW. The duration is 1 to 5 years. It's renewable, and it's for people without a degree, but with skills in an industry Japan lacks. For example, caregiving, hospitality, construction, farming. Japan really needs those people here to keep up the infrastructure of the country itself. So they're letting people into the country with specific skills so they can fill those jobs because there's not enough babies here that grow up that want those jobs. The requirements are a skills test plus a basic Japanese test. You must meet JLPT N4. N4 is not that hard to meet. We really have to train for like 2 months and you'll get it. Never move to Japan in the summertime though. Oh my God, it's hot. And then my little air conditioner is working as hard as it can, but it's really hot. Next one, student visa. You can stay here for the length of the entire schooling program, which is typically 6 months to 4 years. Who is it for? Students at university, language schools, or vocational colleges. You can work up to 28 hours a week part-time. Many people use language school as their foot in the door in Japan. They go to language school, and once they graduate with the language, helps them get a job, find an apartment, things like that. That's normally how it works. The next one is a dependent visa. The duration is the same as your spouse or parents' visa. If you're married to a spouse, you get a visa because you're married to a Japanese person. Who is it for? People with spouses or kids with somebody who's already on a work or student visa. You can get another visa because you are in relation to somebody here. The limitations, only part-time work is allowed up to 28 hours a week. Next one is a very interesting one, the cultural activities visa. Duration is up to 1 year. Who is it for? People who are studying traditional Japanese arts like tea ceremonies, martial arts, or calligraphy. So if you're interested in judo and you want to train judo here for up to a year and get a certain belt, you can get a visa just for that. It's pretty cool. You do have to pay for yourself though. You come with some money to get a place and live and work, having enough money to get home after you finish. But you cannot work with that visa here. You have to fund yourself. Next one, the starter visa. Duration is up to 2 years. It's for entrepreneurs preparing to start a company here in Japan. And why is it useful? It lets you move to Japan before you have everything set up. After 2 years, you must switch to a business management visa, which currently requires just raised to about 30 million yen capital. What that means is you need $200,000 in startup capital in order to qualify for the visa. So they're not playing around. If you want to start a business, you got to have $250,000 or get something else. Next one, highly skilled professional visa. Duration is 5 years. It's renewable. Professionals with high education, salary, and career points. The perks of this visa is you can bring your parents or a helper. You can work across multiple fields, and it's a fast track to permanent residency in as little as 1 year. If you make a lot of money, you can get permanent residency here within 1 year. It builds the economy, it spends money, things like that. Next one, artist visa. The duration is between 6 months to a year. Who is it for? If you're a painter, if you're a musician, if you're a performer, if you earn income in the arts, like me, I am a filmmaker. I'm making a film here in Japan. The limitations is you can only work in your art field. That means if you are a musician, you can't technically get paid doing anything else but making and distributing music here. Now, are they going to check to make sure you didn't make any money doing anything else? No. But when you fill out your tax return at the end of the year, you can only put the stuff that you did from making music. Part 3, family and residency visas. Spouse visa. Duration is 1 to 3 years. It's renewable. And who is this for? Married to a Japanese citizen or permanent resident. As long as I'm married to Tiffany and she has permanent residency here, I can get a spouse visa. Or if I'm married to a Japanese native, I can get this visa. The perk here is you can work in any field. Marriage doesn't make you a citizen. You still need to apply separately. I'm married to them, I'm a citizen now. That's not how it works. You need to apply separately for a permanent residency or to become a citizen. Long-term resident visa. The duration is 1 to 5 years for people with Japanese ancestry or special circumstances. If your great-great-grandmother is Japanese and she was in World War II, something like that, you don't have to look Japanese, you just have to prove that you're related to her in some way, you can get this. For example, Brazilian or Peruvian people with Japanese descent, there's a lot of Japanese people who migrated to Brazil during World War II. If they wanted to come back, they just have to prove that their great-grandmother or grandfather was Japanese, and they can get a visa and stay here. Welcome back, welcome home. Next one, permanent residency. The duration is, of course, forever. No, I'm not saying. You can stay here forever. How do you get it? The normal route is 10 years in Japan. And since I have 2 of these things, the first one was for 5 years, the second one is for 5 years. I have 4 more years to go before I can get permanent residency. One other way to get it is if your spouse is Japanese and you've been married for 3 years. So after 3 years, you could be like, see you later. You know, I'm joking. Highly skilled professionals can get it in as little as 1 year. With permanent residency, you don't need to renew this visa at all. And there are no job restrictions. So after you get that card, You're not a Japanese citizen, but they are not going to press you. Okay, now part 4. This is very important. Most visas require a passport. This passport is not looking so good now with everything going on, but you get what I'm saying. You need a photo. You can get the photos here, and there's a little photo booth. They can take your passport photo. Actually, in the immigration office, they have a little photo booth there. You can sit there, smile, take your photo. That's where I got my photos from. And then you need your visa application form. They will give you one when you come here. You also need your supporting documents, whether it's your job offer, school acceptance, or your financial proof. Sometimes they go as far as opening your bank account right here on your phone. Other than that, you could just use your bank statements. You need your COE, which is the Certificate of Eligibility. This is issued by the Japanese Immigration Bureau. It usually comes from a sponsor from a job or a school. Processing time can take up to 1 to 3 months. If you're getting a job, the employer does 90% of the paperwork. But if you're doing it yourself, you just want to double check that you have everything in a row. You give them every possible opportunity to say yes and no opportunity to say no. Tips for success: double check your documents before submitting. They want all their ducks in a row. If something takes 3 months and they review yours in month 1.5 and something is missing, they will send it back taking another 3 months. It's not a game. Make sure it's right. This is homework. If they ask you a question and it's really a yes or it's really a no and you check the other one, they will double check. They will call your school. They will make sure that the job knows who you are. They will find out if you have a criminal record. They will find out if you have a degree. They will find out if you really had that job. I've heard a lot of horror stories of people where they said you can apply next year. They have to wait a whole year before reapplying. And then they have to wait 3 months after they reapply just to be issued again. Do not lie. They will figure it out. And apply early, because Japanese bureaucracy moves very slowly. They want to make sure that all your ducks are in a row. So apply early. If you're confused, talk to a professional immigration lawyer, or you can talk to me. Link in the description. Now, if you want to hear my story and how I moved to Japan, I moved here for less than $2,000. You can click this video here on the screen. If not, see you next time. Peace.